Yes, Nidima.
Oh. Hello, Masters. Namaste. Welcome to day 17. So, today I have chosen to share the divine beauty with all of you about how she have been evolved. So, she is none other than Draupadi and one of the most important, noteworthy in the Indian epic Mahabharata. However, today I would not share about her journey, but most importantly about the parenting, like how the parents, request of what kind of children they wanted to have, and with what sort of vengeance or the wantingness to have a baby or their own choices of how they request and how the baby evolves and how the karmic loop is entangled throughout. So this is what I would like to share about Draupadi because I believe every one of you know about her of what she have been through um, in the entire Mahabharata of marrying the five brothers and then in the mm, like the entire story. So let me go a bit into detail of her introduction. So she embodies the deep spiritual archetypes that have resonated through ages. Like she embodies the divine feminine energy and she have emerged from the sacred fire. She is not born out of womb. She have emerged from the sacred fire and she has born for the karmic justice and she took the path of dharma under adversity. Oh, she embodies Shakti and the power that awakens the change. And she shows forgiveness, fierce devotion, and resilience. And one thing that we need to understand about her is she did not break under pressure. However, she used that intensity to increase her sharpness and become more aware. And she is often compared to Sati Anasuya and Arundhati as well. This most of the people doesn't know, but she has been often compared to Anasuya and Arundhati, not because of the external actions, but for her inner strength and the fidelity to Dharma and the mental discipline in terms of the darkness. This is very much important of how we are speaking to ourselves when we are going through something. So this is what she resembles as well. And she is not born in an ordinary way. She emerges from the fire, the sacrificial fire, carrying the energy of divine purpose, karma, and justice. And her mission was to be the instrument of downfall for the corrupt kings. Her mission, like she came to be as an instrument, she came as an instrument of downfall for the corrupted kings and her creation is deeply linked to her father by King Drupadas, and he has got a lot of spiritual longing and vengeance towards his childhood friend. Of course, we'll go into detail in a bit shortly. And the qualities that he secretly wished for in the child, he would know completely that she would change the destiny of the kings. And she is the symbol of Dharma. Although she have gone through so much of humiliation in the Kaurava court, where she is dragged, disrobed, however, she is the symbolic, it's not of personal injustice, but dharma being insulted in plain sight. Dharma became like it's dharma is insulted when she have been dragged and disrobed and her powerful woe and unyielding demand for justice is what that we see the Mahabharata's war, the Kurukshetra. And in this entire thing, she represents the voice of truth that will not be silenced. Yeah, and we all know that she have been married to five brothers. However, we should not see as like the human form of the five brothers, the Pandavas. However, spiritually, they symbolize a different aspect of consciousness and virtue. For example, Yudhishthira is the virtue of dharma. Bhima stands for strength. Arjuna stands for action, and Nakula stands for beauty, and Sahadeva for wisdom. So this is the embodiment of five aspects that we have to see the different aspects of consciousness of how she got married into. And her shared marriage is a union of Shakti with the full spectrum of Purusha. And she balances perfectly the divine masculine forces as well. And this is what we need to understand. Yet, although she have married the five men, she remained the most pure person. And her life teaches that while karma may delay, but it never denies. This is what one thing that we need to understand from the Mahabharata, that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Sometimes it look like it has been delay justice, but but however it never denies. However, let us see about the archetypal meanings of what means Draupadi is. She is the awakener of consciousness in a sleeping world. So, as I said, like in those dark times, how she stood by herself and how she stood with the truth, how she awakened her consciousness. That is what we all should become. And she became the Shakti, like rising through injustice and fire, seeking liberation. And she is the goddess in exile, just like Sita, whose journey also through pain brings her into divine wholeness. So, this is all what about Draupadi is. Now, let me share about Drupada's Yagna, like the fire of vengeance. And here, this is what I would like to share with all of you. Like when the parents wanted to have children, what kind of thoughts that they have also makes a toll on their children. But eventually, we forget, right? However, here, let me share this story. So, there is King Drupada. So, Draupadi's father is Drupada, and he has been once humiliated by Drona. Dronacharya is nothing but his childhood friend who have turned as enemy. And there has been a longing for revenge, like the vengeance. So one day he was performing um, the yaga to the fire, and especially, and then he wanted to eventually kill the Drona and also his powerful son as well. Like, sorry, through his son, he wanted to kill Drona, and through his daughter, he wanted to, like, Drupada wants to set to change the course of history. In order to fulfill this, he performed a special yajna, especially the sacred fire ritual, with the help of two rishis, the Yaja and Upiyaja. And this was not a normal ordinary yajna, but it is with intense sankalpa, it is with spiritual resolve, desire, and karmic force. So the first child that he have asked is to have Drushtadrumya, who is like radiant, armed, and destined to slay Drona. And the next one is he asked for Draupadi. She is like a dark skinned, however, she's glowing, she's very beautiful, and she's glowing with mystery. So these are the two children who have been immersed from the fire. However, when it comes to Draupadi, let's see what are the requests that Drupada have requested the fire, the paradoxical boons. The first one is that he requested that she should be the most beautiful woman in the world, but she will be untouched by the pride. And the second one is let her go through the deepest shame, however, she should remain pure. So this is what we all have seen when she have been um, dragged into the Kaurava court. So how much of the shame here she have gone through. However, although she carry the pain of womanhood across ages, yet she is the symbol of unbroken, a mirror to all women's strength and grace. This is what every woman needs to nurture her own qualities. And the third one is her words should always commence this truth, and like her voice must carry the power to shake places. However, it should be gentle to heal wounds so that no hand can reach. And the fourth one is let her be the bride of Dharma, not of one man, but of five. So, here, which means it's about the unifying, like the duty, strength, will, grace, and wisdom. And let her memory stretch through lifetimes. So, during the ache of these ancient battles and future truths of how she has been like she have lit the war, I would say, and let her face betrayal but never betray, and let her be the cause of a great war and still be innocent of all blame. Like through her, let dharma be restored. Let kingdoms rise and fall at her feet, and let her walk away from it all, silent and free. Let her carry the fire of Kali and the grace of Lakshmi. So, and let her remember who she is, even when the world forgets. So, the curse, crown, court, all these were no longer there, and even the world forgets. She remembers who she is, she remembers her strength, and let her burn with questions and bow to no falsehood. So, these are the major things that Drupada, the king Drupada, have requested for the fire. See, masters, innocently, his father clearly knows what sort of vengeance he has been looking, and he have requested the fire to give the daughter who goes through so many situations, and yet he have also been stick to the truth of how her daughter should be. Like she should stick to the truth, she should stick to the path of dharma. Although she faced many battles, her heart should be pure, and whoever comes to her, her purity should change her. And her voice, through silence she touches the hearts of many. She have changed many people through her silence, and whenever she spoke, it she speaks only the truth. So this is one thing that we all need to understand as well, that in this human world, when the parents are giving birth to children, what sort of thoughts they were having, and how consciously they were giving birth to the baby, that matters. This is what one should learn from this um, story as well. Of we think that the children are behaving in a certain way, however how the parents have requested and why the children have chosen such sort of parents, because in the end it is all about karmic depths, right? Like the entanglements of karmic patterns, and this is one of the reason the child choose the parents as well, to go through such sort of circumstances. So, this is such a beautiful thing that we learn from the Mahabharata of how we should lead a life. The parents are, the children are there, just for themselves, not for the sake of parent needs. This is one thing that we need to understand. And she is the symbolic reading of the qualities. And again, coming back to the Draupadi, so this is what each quality Drupada longed to manifest in Draupadi, like the beauty, the wisdom, the power, the fire, and the sacredness. So when Drupada unknowingly asked for was not a daughter, but he asked like a living embodiment of sacred contradiction, which means like a woman who could live through fire, shame, betrayal, love, and war, and still radiate truth. So, how many of us in this lifetime also have gone through so many things like the shame, betrayal, love, war, all those things. And in this era, what we have to see is inwardly everything is happening. So the Mahabharata is nothing but the inward nature of how we are going through, and how still so much we go through, how we are radiating the truth. This is one important element that we all need to understand. And similar to Draupadi, she carries the soul of every woman who has ever been tested, doubted, or burned. And again she rose with her heart untouched. So, this is how we all should become. So, and I believe like every one of you are aware of the Kaurava court of how she have been dragged. However, like how the Krishna stood beside her and pacified her and said to stick to the truth. So, our meditation becomes the Krishna for us. So that is why everyone, for everyone, we need to have the foundations of the meditation to understand who we truly are, and that we need to remember who we truly are, and that we all need to radiate the beauty and the wisdom and the power and the fire and the sacredness in our hearts. So this is one of the beautiful the sharing that I thought to share with all of you, especially from the parents' point of view, not from what she have gone through in the Mahabharata. However, when again it comes to meditation, she have did like um, the sacred circles, and in the sacred circles she have learned from again meditation from sage Anasuya and Lopamudra, and she have taught to her own people, and she has stick to her dharma. So today in our meditation, let us ask to have our own reflection. For example, like, what does your inner fire ask you to speak and to stand up for? There is any injustice that has happened to you, how have you reacted? Is it with anger, or how it has been? So this is one of the thing that um, please check with yourself as a reflection and write it in your own journeys. And also how you can balance yourself, like when it comes to wisdom, strength, and discipline, how you're seeing, looking yourself at. So this is, I would like to I thought to share with all of you about such a beautiful woman. And yeah, without any delay, then let us start our meditation, masters. So I request every one of you to sit for meditation. Sit in a comfortable posture, closing your eyes, clasping your hands, and crossing your legs. Gently be with your breath. Feel your presence and become aware of the breath. So, with the help of the music, let us go to the deeper and deeper states. Stay connected with yourself. Last 2 more minutes. Try to come back slowly to your awareness, masters. Final 1 minute. Be in complete silence. Be completely aware of your breath, even in the last minute. Only 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Now slowly place your hands over your eyes for a couple of seconds. Once you are ready, you may remove your hands and you may open your eyes. Be very gentle with yourself when you are opening your eyes, and drink plenty of water, masters, once you open your eyes. So, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And let's connect back for tomorrow's session. Thank you, masters. Have a lovely time. Thank you all. Namaste.
Yes, thank you so much, Nilima.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for reminding Sri Lakshmi. Yeah. Masters, anyone would like to share before we end the session? Okay. Then good night, all of you. And thanks a lot. Thank you, Sri Lakshmi, for the opportunity.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, friends.